a little Shakir. Their receiver gets hit quickly. Ray Davis. He's got it. Not going anywhere. Travis 10. Snap is fine, and the run by Cook. He gets hit hard at the 39. That's the man Chris mentioned a moment ago.
Ooh, bruh. It is extremely cold right now. It is 5:30 in the morning, and I just came from outside where it is a nice 14 degrees outside. Yes, it is extremely cold, and I know that for the men and women that are going to be on the field for the Buffalo Bills Baltimore Ravens game, it is supposed to be even colder. Forecast is with the wind chill and everything, it's supposed to be around 4 degrees. And I know that's only a 10-11 degree difference, but that can possibly affect the game. Now, this is the excuse that the Buffalo Bills are going to use, saying that they're going to beat the Baltimore Ravens because, yes, it is cold in Baltimore, but the Ravens aren't used to that kind of Buffalo, upstate New York weather. Lamar Jackson is a Florida boy, and he said he was not going to wear gloves during his game, but below freezing temperature, Lamar Jackson is 3-1 in those games. And I know he's never played in anything that is possibly going to be this blistery, this frigid as he is going to on Sunday night. I think that he is locked in and focused, and everything that has gone on since the Week 4 matchup versus the Buffalo Bills is trending in the Ravens' favor. Now, first, I'm going to talk about some of the things that the Ravens did during that Week 4 matchup that we all know, but then I'm going to get into the reason why the Baltimore Ravens have done what the NFL has feared. The Ravens have done what the Buffalo Bills have feared, and this team has put the league on notice. But first, looking back at that Week 4 matchup, there are a lot of Buffalo Bills YouTubers out there talking about, yeah, it was a fluke. Certain things happened. Teron Johnson didn't play. Matt Milano didn't play. Ed Oliver's back. Like, they're getting a compliment of players coming back that was not there during that first matchup. But what they're not talking about is, in that game versus the Buffalo Bills, essentially the Ravens were playing with a brand new starting lineup. Andrew Voorhees got injured. Pat McCarr was moved into left guard, and Roger Rosengarten was starting at right tackle. So essentially, this was the beginning game for the Baltimore Ravens offensive line. And I know that a lot of people have been critical, even myself, as to the play of the offensive line, but the offensive line from Week 4 to week now is night and day. Now, they are not where I particularly want them to be, but they are playing a lot better. They are gelling. They're opening holes up for Derrick Henry and giving Lamar Jackson just enough protection to get things done. So that is one caveat to battle the narrative of what the Buffalo Bills are saying. Also, during that game, Derrick Henry had 199 yards rushing, 87-yard touchdown on the first play. Lamar Jackson rushed 6 times for 54 yards in a period where Lamar Jackson wasn't even trying to run the ball. And overall, the Baltimore Ravens had 427 yards of total offense. And you're going to try to tell me that with the additions that they're bringing in this cold weather, those guys are going to want to tackle Derrick Henry? They didn't want to tackle him when the weather was good. So now you're telling me they're going to want to hit him when he is going to rattle their bones. And I understand it is cold in Buffalo, but it is cold in Baltimore as well. It may not be the same type of cold, but we're used to playing in cold. We're used to playing in AFC North football. So for the Bills, it's not going to be the advantage that you guys think that it really is going to be. And on top of all of that, Keaton Mitchell has returned. They have not seen that type of speed on the Baltimore Ravens as of yet, and they couldn't handle Derrick Henry himself. They couldn't handle Justice Hill out the backfield, who had 83 yards receiving. So yes, you can bring in your additions that weren't here, but the Ravens have gotten exponentially better themselves. Then also, when it comes to this game, and Buffalo Bills fans, fanatics, prognosticators, publications, and all these things, they want to say things to propel one narrative, but then on the other hand, they leave it out when it comes to something else. So when it comes to the MVP race, their reasoning is, listen, the Ravens have 6 All-Pros to the Buffalo Bills 1. The Ravens have 9 Pro Bowlers to the Buffalo Bills 2. And this is why Josh Allen should win the MVP award. But now when it comes to playing this game, the Baltimore Ravens have 9 Pro Bowlers and 6 All-Pros. So that talent level disparity isn't going to be the reason that the Ravens win the game. Help me understand how that makes sense. He's the MVP because of lack of talent, but they're going to win this game because they have a lack of talent. But enough about that. We're going to get into the reason why I believe the Baltimore Ravens are going to win this game. And yes, offensively, they are doing their thing. They are rolling on all cylinders. They rushed for 299 yards versus the Pittsburgh Steelers last week. and we are seeing a different style of Baltimore Ravens playoff football. But to me, the biggest key to this game, the biggest factor in determining why the Ravens are going to win is going to be this defense. And I know they said, Josh Allen had a broken hand. James Cook had a turf toe. Khalil Shakir had a sprained ankle. All of these reasons why their offense only put up 10 points. But defensively during that game, the Ravens held them to 81 yards rushing. They also had 182 yards passing. All this while the Baltimore Ravens were the 32nd ranked defense in the NFL. 32nd. And you managed to put up 182 yards through the air. And so they're telling us now that, yes, we've got guys back, we're healthy, we've hit our groove, but the Baltimore Ravens since week 4 have gone from the 32nd ranked pass defense to, from weeks 14 through 18, they are first in scoring defense, first in total defense, first in third down efficiency, first in pass defense, first in red zone defense, and first in passer rating against. So they go from 32nd to first over the last 4 weeks of the season, and they dominated the Pittsburgh Steelers as well. So you're telling me you couldn't do certain things versus this defense when they were the worst, and now they are one of the best right now, and you think that miraculously you guys are going to come in and do something that you couldn't do when we were at our worst. So yes, you guys have gotten better. I watch Buffalo Bills games. Josh Allen is a phenomenal talent, but our defense has gotten better as well. Guys have filled into their roles. Zach Orr has become attuned to the game of football and how these Ravens, this iteration is going to play. So this is the last thing that the Buffalo Bills needed during this game, for the Ravens to right their wrongs defensively. Offensively, I don't think that the Buffalo Bills can stop us. If the Baltimore Ravens can cut down on the turnovers and penalties, which they have throughout the last few weeks, John Harbaugh, I have to give him his credit. He's not used up timeouts. He's not just throwing just irresponsible red flags, challenging plays. And with this, it's a culmination of everything. The defense has now matched the offense, and the Ravens now realize what they have to do to win a title. Run the ball, then run the ball some more. And you expect me to believe just because it's cold outside, just because the temperatures drop, that's going to give you that much of an advantage. The Ravens defense over the last 5 weeks have gone from worst to first and still have one of the top 2 rushing defenses in the NFL. Now, all hail James Cook. I am a fan. But if you couldn't run on us when we couldn't stop the pass, now that we've formulated everything out and we've gotten everything together, what do you think James Cook is going to do? Because to me, James Cook has been the catalyst to the Bills' offense. I give credit to Joe Brady, realizing we need to run more. We need to take the ball out of Josh's hands and not give him as much responsibility, and James Cook has done his thing. But if Cook can't run versus us, what are you going to do when you become one-dimensional? And understandably, Josh Allen can make plays. He is a great quarterback. This is why he is in the MVP conversation. Unlike Bills fans, I'm willing to give Josh Allen his credit. He is an amazing player. From where Josh Allen was from the first time that he played his first season when the Ravens knocked out Nate Peterman and brought him in, from that season to where he is now is night and day. Josh Allen is a franchise quarterback. Josh Allen is a Pro Bowl quarterback. He's not an All-Pro this season, which should say something, but he is very, very talented. And if the Ravens slip up, he can win this game. But the way that the Ravens defense is playing right now, it is hard to see Buffalo getting any better. Yes, they may score more points. They may give up another touchdown. But defensively through the air, what is Buffalo going to do? And I heard one of the guys say, well, yeah, I'm waiting for this matchup versus Nate Wiggins and Keon Coleman. I am a Keon Coleman fan. I'm a Florida State guy. But Nate Wiggins has played much, much better throughout the season. Keon Coleman has been hurt. He and Josh Allen have not developed that connection that they had earlier in the season because he missed some time. And if we shut down Shakir, I know you have Dalton Kincaid, and I know you have Dawson Knox, and you have Curtis Samuels waiting in the wing. But those guys do not match up well versus our defensive backs. Now, Brandon Stevens may be the weak link on this team, but how often are you going to exploit this if our pass rush is starting to get to Josh Allen? The Ravens ended the season with the second most sacks in the NFL, only behind the Denver Broncos. And yes, Buffalo had their way with Denver last week, but a lot of that had to do with after that opening drive, Denver's offense didn't do anything. They turned the ball over on downs. They couldn't stay on the field. But towards the end of that game, that Denver defense was starting to wreck shop versus Josh Allen. Like they were starting to get to him and sack him on every other play. And I just think collectively, the talent that the Ravens have is a lot better than what the Denver Broncos have, numbers aside. So you're telling me that you couldn't do anything when we were at our worst. And now while we're playing our best, you really and truly believe that the separation between some degrees in weather is going to be the reason why you beat the Baltimore Ravens. And I understand. You have faith in your team. You believe in your team. But I remember when the Ravens smacked y'all up and down that field. You guys were like, this team is real. The Ravens are for real. We don't want to see them in the playoffs. But now all of a sudden, pop my collar, the bravado's there. We got Josh Allen. We're about to do this. You guys are 1-3 in the divisional round of the playoffs, with those games being at home. You played at home, so you weren't on the road. So you can't tell me that there is an advantage to you being at home on Sunday night, because you've been at home for these other games and you've crapped the bed. But anyway, have your fun, talk your smack. We shall see what's truly going to happen. We're going to see who truly has the better quarterback, who truly has the better team come Sunday night. And I guarantee you, when all of this is said and done, there is only going to be one quarterback left standing, and that is going to be Lamar Jackson. And I think, finally, after all is said and done, Josh Allen is going to get the scrutiny that he truly deserves. He's been great. He's been to an AFC Championship game. He dominates the wild card round. All of these things are true. But just like Lamar, he's not been to a Super Bowl. And a lot of people have ranked Josh Allen ahead of Lamar Jackson. So why has not the scrutiny been the same? But I think it's finally going to come to fruition Sunday night when the Bills get stomped out.
Nah, man, I'm cool.